Hello everybody. Tonight I'm going to make a meatloaf and I will eat half of it tonight and half of it tomorrow. I want to fix it ahead of time. I've got my oven on and I'm going to go ahead and get started. I know it's like 15 till 7, but I'm running a little late. So I've got this organic ground beef. It's called Simply Nature. It is 1 pound. So I'm going to open it up. I'm going to take this ring off because I don't want it. Okay, we're just going to open that up. I took it out of the freezer and I don't want to leave it in the refrigerator very long. So I'm going to make it. I've been kind of hungry a little bit for a meatloaf, so I'll get my fill of it. I got to do something with this, so there's no better thing that I can think of to do with it. So I got the ground beef in there. I'm going to add some salt and pepper. Salt first, and then pepper. Little more pepper than salt. Really don't need the salt, I don't think, at all, so I didn't put much in. I forgot an ingredient. Hold on. I always forget something. Always forget something. Just the way it is. My egg. 1 egg. 1 egg. So yesterday, we had an eventful day. Let me put the 1 egg in there now before I forget it again. Okay. Now, I'm going to put some crackers in there instead of bread. Reminds me of the story. I was at the hospital one time and I was waiting out in the waiting room and got to talking to this guy from Lancaster, because I was from Lancaster too. Whoops. Oh, anyway, I was from Lancaster too, and he was telling me, we got the subject of meatloaf. And he said his dad raised him and his siblings. And they were poor, and they made meatloaf a lot. He made meatloaf. He said there was hardly any meat in the meatloaf, because his dad would either take lots of breadcrumbs or crackers and put in that meatloaf. And, but that's what they ate, and they liked it. It gave it enough flavor. Every time I use crackers, I think about that. Dad making that meatloaf for his kids. I need to use these two. I try to make things that I need to use. And then, let's see, I got the egg and the crackers. And, I want to use some chopped onion flakes. Chopped onion flakes. Put in there. That was not even, probably a tablespoon. At the most, I mean, not even that much. And then I want to, I always use adobo. It's all purpose seasoning. And it's got garlic, black pepper, oregano, and turmeric. It's got that in it. So I like to use it. It just gives, even potatoes, if you roast potatoes, it gives it a good flavor. So I'll put some of that in there. That was about a teaspoon. Roasted potatoes, that with onion butter seasoning is delicious if you roast them in the oven. With olive oil, paprika, adobo, and that. I'll make some sometime. Dan really likes them, and I really like them. So we'll go there, and then ketchup. I want to put some ketchup in. That's about a tablespoon. And I want to put a little bit of this Knorr tomato bouillon chicken. Knorr tomato bouillon chicken seasoning. And I never put very much in. For, just this would be just a little bit. Just enough to give it some flavors. Okay, now, the good part. But let me spray this first. And, let's see, I always put just a little bit of water in it. For some reason, it just makes it a little bit softer. Now, I'm going to spray this with Pam. And that way I'll have my lunch ready for tomorrow too. I'll probably add a green tomato, and I'll probably do it online. I'm going to do mine a little different than the rings and stuff. It's all good. Just shake this up a little bit, crunch it up. Get that mixed up real good in there. Now, when you bake these will all mix in good together and make a nice little meatloaf. If I knowed I wasn't going to use this, I'd have never took it out of the freezer. So I'm going to have to use it. It's still nice and red and everything, but you don't want to leave it in there very long in the refrigerator. That's pretty smooth. Just take it and now, I used to watch my mom make meatloaf. Now, she put canned tomatoes in hers. In hers when she made it. I don't. But I liked hers. I ate it, but I just don't put it in my own. It just depends on how she felt like making it, I think. I'm afraid I'm going to drop that thing. Slip her hands. Mom used to go like this all the time when she made a meatloaf. She'd smack it like, she said, a baby's bottom. So that's not very big meatloaf. So, try to make that. It won't take long for that one to get done. Not very big. Then, what I do, I gotta wipe my hands off. That's why. I'm going to take some ketchup. About a good tablespoon and a half. And Worcestershire sauce. Who's your sister's sauce? I think I put, really I don't measure it, so I can't tell you. Maybe with this much, probably half a teaspoon. And I'm going to mix it up a little bit. Okay, now I'm just going to brush some over that, and then when it gets done, right before it gets done, I will, that's a little hole there, I'll take and put the rest of it on. Let it bake down in it. I'm just going to do this right now while it's baking. That'll create a blast of flavors with these several things together. You don't need much though. There we go. I'll put the rest of that on when we get it about done. I've got a 355 degree oven. My oven's a little cooler, so I always bump it up 5, and usually I do 350, and I'm going to cook this in a 350 degree oven, and then I will be back when it's done. Now while it's cooking, I'm going to put you on pause, but you won't know it, and I'll let it cook and put all my stuff away, and you'll never have to watch me do it. So let me get up here. Got to turn around the chair here. There we go. And I will be back. Hello everyone, I'm back. It's been quite a while. And I almost burnt the meatloaves, which turned into meatloaves. It started out a meatloaf, but now it's meatball things. Let me tell you what happened. Last night, or yesterday afternoon, Dan and I was sitting on the love seat, and the electric went out. Never thought a thing about it, because it flickered and it went out and back on. So we was kind of busy yesterday, so we made that kraut, you know, and everything, and put it in a crock and done a video on that. Well, it was getting late, and I thought we was going to make cabbage and all that stuff, you know. And I said, let's just have them frozen stuffed peppers by Stouffer's. There's 4 in a thing. We was both kind of getting hungry. And he said, how long will it be? And I said, 65 minutes. So he went outside and was doing some things, and he came back in, and it got time. My timer went off my phone, and I went in. And I said, they're done. I'll go get them, and I'll put them on our plate. And I sit them out here on this cutting board that Janelle got me, Tommy. And I got in the stove, the oven, to get the frozen mangoes, peppers stuffed from Stouffer's. they were still froze. And Dan told me whenever that happened, the flicker went off the electric, he said, would that have turned the stove off? I said, oh no, it's gas. I don't know anything about gas, okay? I used electric all the time I've ever cooked. So he said, okay. Well, when I checked them, they were still froze. The pilot light must have went out. And I didn't know the pilot light went out. So he said, let's just have some corn dogs and the rest of them green beans you fixed yesterday. And blackberry cobbler you fixed. So that's what we had. We had a nice little supper. Well, when I was talking to you guys, I decided I was going to make that meatloaf because I needed to use that meat. I told you I'd be right back. It's a good thing it was on pause. So I baked it as long as I thought I should bake it, and a timer went off, and I thought I'll go check the meatloaf. I went in and said, it doesn't really look like it's done. And I looked again and I thought, that ain't even started cooking. The oven ain't even hot. And so I thought, oh shoot, I bet that pilot light needs lit and I don't know how to do it because I've never done gas. So I thought, plan B. I bought a little air fryer. And it's like a personal one. And I bought it because it matched my curtains. And I thought, I'll make some, smaller loaves and cram them in that little air fryer and air fry them. So I did. And it's taken me a long time because it took 35 to 45 minutes to find out the oven wasn't working. And then another 35, and then flipping these, and I haven't ever used the air fryer enough to know about meatloaf and stuff like that. So there we are. It's nice and tender. Let me see here. I cut this one. I'll show you. It's really dark. I turned it over and cooked it again, and then I put the sauce that I made on top. And then I cooked it about 5-10 more minutes. So here's what we got. Hot. And it looks okay. It's definitely done. On the inside. It tastes delicious. But I probably could have turned the air fryer down a little bit. It wouldn't have been so dark. But I like dark. Now, personally, I like dark. But it took 2 hours and 25 minutes to get everything figured out and done. So you've been sitting on pause for quite a long time now. Well, when Dan called me a little bit ago, I had to tell him about the pilot light. I don't know how to light it. So, I won't be using the oven until I get lit. Does the top work? I don't even want to try tonight because I've already been disappointed once. So, I'm going to eat one of these. I was going to eat one tomorrow, or eat it, for lunch tomorrow. Well, I had to make 3 little tiny meatloaves, so I'm going to eat one tonight this late. It tastes delicious. But I'll tell you what a time we've been through with that. Getting supper ready the last couple nights. Dan made the corn dogs. He knows how to make good corn dogs. And the green beans are already made in the crock pot thing. And the berry cobbler was already made, so we had a quick dinner last night. This dinner here tonight was long time. Long time. So there's what I'm doing. It probably would have been done a long time ago if I'd have just thought about, this is an air fryer, this is not the oven. That's too big of a piece. So anyway, that's the ending of the story. I'm going to eat one of them. Anyway, God bless you all. And I'm glad you didn't have to wait on that meatloaf. Talk to you later. Love y'all. Bye-bye.